Picking up where we left off in part 1, we're here on this chord, which is second finger on the 6th string, 2nd fret, and then third finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then 4th finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then you're going to play like this, just like normal with that arpeggio pattern, P-A-M-I-A-M-I, P-A-M-I-P-P. And again, remembering we got to hop over that 5th string. Good, now we're going to bring the first finger down to the 1st fret on the 6th string, and the 3rd finger gets lifted. So now that 4th string is open. You don't tuck your fingers away like this again, but I'm showing you. Now nothing's fretting that 4th string, but the pinky stays on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So then the 1st finger drops to the low 6th string, open. And then the 3rd finger goes back on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So now we have that note again. Pinky stays where it was on the 2nd fret of the 3rd. Now here is where the pinky finally drops to the 1st finger on the 3rd string to get G sharp. This is an E major chord dominant to the next chord you're going to play, which is sort of an A minor. So you hop all the way up after this to put your 3rd finger on the 12th fret of the 4th string. So you got that. Now the 1st finger is going to go 2 frets down on the 3rd string. Everything else is open, but you're back with the thumb on the 5th string though, so now we leave the 6th string out again. So you have those 2 notes, and then the B and E strings are open. Good, then I view this as sort of a collapse. So these 2 notes are going to collapse inward. This one's going to come up, this one's going to go down. And they're going to go to the same fret, to fret 11, but you're going to play them like this. 3rd finger on the 4th string of fret 11, pinky on the 3rd string, fret 11, to get that chord. So with the arpeggio, now we're back to that first arpeggio pattern, which is, again, it's the same thing, it's just whether I have my thumb on the 6th string or the 5th string. Now our thumb is back on the 5th string. And P-A-M-I-A-M-I-P-P-A. Now here's what's interesting. It's almost the exact arpeggio pattern, except we stop at a certain point. We don't do the... We don't do that extra little ending thing. We just stop once we get to the 2nd I hit. So it's actually the 3rd time I plays. But so we do P-A-M-I, and then A-M-I-P. That's the completed form of this arpeggio. I'm sorry, P-A-M-I-P-A-M-I. So your thumb plays the open A string, P-A-M-I, and that's normal. Thumb on 5th string, and then A finger on the 1st, M finger on the 2nd string, I finger on the 3rd string. Then here your thumb jumps up to the 4th string. And then I finger now plays 2nd string. So once that thumb jumps to the 4th string, sorry. So it's P-A-M-I-P on the 4th string, A finger on the 2nd string, for the open second string, and then M finger now plays third string, and you finish on I on the fourth string. And that's where that arpeggio ends. So P on the fifth string, A on the first string, M on the second, I on the third, P on the fourth, A on the second, M on the third, I on the fourth. Now collapse inwards to the center fret, fret 11, but with these two fingers. Same arpeggio pattern. Then we go down, first finger on the fourth fret of the fourth string, then pinky on the seventh fret of the third string. It's a 4-fret stretch. Now, this is also one of these collapse things you'll see. So you play this one with that new arpeggio pattern. Then you collapse to both. You're going to use the third and fourth fingers again on both on the 6th fret. So that's the 6th fret on both the 4th and 3rd strings. So we go from this to this. Now we only have 2 more chords left in the piece, which you've already played, in fact. That's pinky on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then second finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and first finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. It's just different from before in the piece, because before in the piece you did this. Whoops. Whereas now you only do. You've chopped off that second part of that arpeggio. So then it's that same move as before when these 2 chords happened. You get this one, and then you leave pinky there, and you slide the 1st and 2nd fingers down to the 2nd fret to get A major 9 again. Good, so those are all the chords. Let's do a quick harmonic analysis going through all these chords. So this is, the first chord is, so it's really an A major sharp 4, which implies the Lydian mode. A Lydian, sort of maybe where we're sitting in this. But we're quickly about to find out it's maybe not Lydian, because we drop down to this 2nd finger. And now we would call this sort of a dominant flat 5, maybe. We'd call this probably A dominant flat 5. Because now the sharp 4 is probably, yeah, going to this, which is, sounds like A diminished, is it? Yeah, it is A diminished 7, A fully diminished 7th chord. Oh, sorry, no, but with an added sort of tension was we have the natural 5th, E natural here. So, and then dropping down to this. This is cool. What is this? What would you even say about this chord? Obviously its function is a descent, upper neighbor tone to A major 9. So really I hear this as like a, and we probably here it is. If we had a C sharp in the chord, like, or maybe not C sharp, but maybe G sharp, like, or like an E natural in a prominent location, like, oops, sorry, lost my fingerings. Yeah, I want to put an E in this as sort of an E dominant to this, almost. But the F is a weird, so it's like an E dominant flat 9, because we have the minor 7th E to D, the B natural, which is the 5th of E, and then the doubled E because of this on the top, F with flat 9, F natural flat 9. But then we have the 4, we already have the A drone, so of course these chords are not, you can see it's not exactly like he's thinking, okay, I'm going to this chord, to this chord. He's not thinking so much in terms of the individual chords as he is the voice leading between the chords, because clearly the function of this shape is to lead into that, okay? But he keeps this drone, this A drone in it, which probably, that's what throws the monkey wrench the whole thing, because really we're wanting this. But the whole point of the intro of this piece is this drone, the A and the E. So it'd be totally inappropriate for here to go, because that's not where he wants to cadence. He wants to continue. He doesn't want a cadence, so he doesn't want to put this bass note right there to give a final feeling to when we do this. Good, and then we drop down to here, A minor 9, then this. What the heck is this? I think E minor. No, C major 7 in first inversion. Beautiful chord. F sharp. Just a bunch of 4ths and 5ths, but again, one of these chords that's supposed to just lead you to this. But we hear this, I think, as we're almost hearing this like it should go to like almost again, we're almost trying to hit a dominant, hit a predominant to the dominant of A, but we're still gets it. So I'm thinking of this rather as B, F sharp. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. It's B is the root, F sharp. So it's like a 5 of E major in first inversion. That's what I think of it as. So we have major 7 first inversion, C major 7 first inversion, B natural dominant 7th, which is the 5 of E, which is what you might expect as we're trying to do this. But we're not trying to do that. We're trying to evade it again. First finger here. This is clearly a D minor 7, add 13, and 9. Here, very obvious 6/4 suspension. Now we do hit the 5 of A, except we're not going there totally. is this chord. D minor. Again, he evades it. That's D minor with, again, just like this add 13 chord down here. We get another minor add 13. Here the B natural was the root. Here the B natural is the 13th, and then E natural up top is just the fifth, is just the 9th. Again, so it's the cool connection. Here's a B minor 13 add 13 add 9. This is D minor add 13 add 9 to this. A major 9, A major 13 at 9. Again, so the 13 plus the 9th is the theme so far. Then we get so that's D major 13 9 in first inversion, and then we get A major 9, A major 7 add 9 in root position, and that's really the cadence of the piece. And then we just get this little coda at the end, going back to this sort of faking you out as a dominant 7 flat 5, right? Dominant 7 flat 9. Pardon me. Dominant 7 flat 9 to A major again. So we get this, which is D major 13 at 9. So that's like a 4/5 cadence. D is 4 chord of A major, but with a lot of extra tones. And then also this now is a 5/1. So this was a 4/1 with a lot of extra tensions, and this is a 5/1 with a lot of extra tensions. Good, so it's, you know, a cool piece, a lot of cool tensions in the chords, but the thing to notice about the piece is that he's not thinking so much. Some of these chords, not every chord is created equal in this piece. In other words, like this chord at the beginning is very important. So that, the second chord, not equal to the first in terms of what it's doing, okay? Because it's really going to this. That's the target. Whoa. But target. Same thing here. What is this? Target. Monkey wrench. Now this chord is beautiful because it's a monkey wrench after a monkey wrench. This is also transition. It wants to go to here. This is all an expanded cadence. Wants again to go to A major, but again evades. And now minor 4, so that's mixture. That's D minor. A major 13 at 9. D major, now we're back to major 4. Now we get the major 7th, like the beginning chord. Oh, sorry, we don't have the major 7 in the beginning, do we? No, the sharp 4 in the beginning. But we get the major 7 at the end, and then we get A major 9. Now, one last thing about this piece, okay? I don't know if Leo Brouwer wrote it this way, but, well, here's one thing he did say. He said that you're allowed to play this piece with other arpeggio patterns. You can make up your own, just as long as only those notes and those chords are involved. Okay, so experiment with that. That's extremely important. All sorts of, you can find a million different things and patterns to do with the right hand, and all that makes you better. Okay, and especially if you're making up your own stuff, because you're concentrating on it in a different way when you're making it up on your own. So you could do stuff like, that's a very simple, variation. I could think of a million other ones, like, that one's quite long, but you get the point. Here's the other thing, though. Okay, so we know Leo Brouwer at least wanted us to try to experiment with other arpeggio patterns for this piece, different right hand fingerings, but I'm going to use that to motivate another suggestion. Try playing this piece with the original arpeggio pattern with every finger, and then, since it's a 5-string arpeggio etude for the most part, we're only ever playing in a chord, there's only ever 5 notes in each chord in this piece, okay? Very deliberate. There is not a single chord in this piece without 5 notes. Every harmony in this piece, 5 notes big, okay? You got 5 fingers on your right hand. P on the 5th string. C, pinky, on the 1st string. A finger on the 2nd string. M finger on the 3rd string, and I finger on the 4th string. That now becomes, that intro arpeggio becomes P, C, A, M, C, A, M, I, A, M, I, P, P. And no finger has to move. Okay, now, that changes the nature of the arpeggio a little bit, because wasn't maybe the point of this to practice, like, thumb moving back and forth between these 2 strings, like I talked about, learning the thumb, learning how to hop over, that sort of thing. The A finger, practicing the transfer from the 1st to the 2nd finger. Yes, it is about all that. But you can use the arpeggio, you can use this study to a different advantage, which is practicing pinky. It's one of the best etudes I've discovered for just developing pinky in a way that's very familiar. And it's very light demand on the pinky. It's not playing any more than any other finger. It's just part of the texture. And the thing is, it's so comfortable to play it that way. It simplifies the right hand in so many ways that you're really motivated to really strengthen that pinky to be able to do that. Because you now no longer have to worry about the transfer. And actually, you can get it quite fast. I'm not going to be able to do it right now, but let's see how fast I can get it right now. I haven't worked this up, but... So at some points in there, I was sort of pushing my limit with speed for it in terms of making mistakes and whatnot. But I've gotten it faster than that, and even that, you may not be able to go that fast initially. But this is, again, it's a really, really good thing. So learn the arpeggio the normal way first. Once you get good at that, try doing it with pinky and really seeing the difference of that, okay? It'll really give you a lot of insight, I think, into what the pinky is useful for, what it can do for you. Because an arpeggio like that, it's challenging for the right hand to do these sorts of hops. That's what's cool about the etude. That's what makes even advanced players use it as a warm-up. But it becomes totally, like a very complicated right-hand pattern could be instantly simplified by adding the pinky to it. And that's the sort of what that reveals. Okay.